Getting ready for the start of the 450 main. Adam Enticknap, Ronnie Stewart, and Christophe Porcel about to make their first starts in the main this year. Jeff, you think the corners could be a key here?
Well, certainly if you don't have that clean start in a hole shot where you can ride your own lines, just all of these turns, you enter the turn so wide. And we've seen a lot of block passes in this 180 leading into the sand. This turn right after the sand, of course, is the incident where Freese and Anderson got together because you have to set up wide to do that on-off tabletop. Just after this, you notice the main line, everybody, look where the braking bumps are on the right side of your screen is way to the left, right where that first Discount Tire white tough block is. That's where everyone wants to enter the turn, and that leaves the inside of the turns wide open. Now this is the main event, the points, the cash, the trophy, everything's on the line.
Down to the starting gate area, here's Jenny.
Marvin Musquin told me today, I am in a good place. I'm getting the podiums. I know that I have the speed, and I specifically asked him about having that 20-second gap between he and Dungey and Roczen last week. He said, hey, I'm not going to worry about that because in practice, I know I'm racing just as fast as Dungey, and I know there are a lot of guys behind me that are going extremely fast. So if I keep staying in this position, and if I get the start, I know that the speed will be there. And something else to consider, Red Bull KTM team manager Roger DeCoster told me that there's been a difference with Marvin this year in his maturity and also his strength. He's a lean guy, but he said overall he is so much stronger, and the way he carries himself, hopefully that pays off tonight.
Don't want to forget 47 there, Malcolm Stewart, about to make his first start of his professional 450 career. As we see KTM Spider Cam high over the starting gate area. Jeff, you thought gate pick was going to be key.
Yeah, certainly right here in this, right where that yellow Thor.
Here we go, gate drop, 450s. Cooper Webb with the hole shot in. Dungey comes flying out with the lead.
Unbelievable, 13th gate pick, and the champ is out front.
Cole Seeley with a good start as well. Musquin buried deeper in the field. And where's Ken Roczen?
Talk about responding to the adversity. The number 1 of Dungey's out front. The number 2 of Cooper Webb has faced some adversity, but now he's put it together and finally got a good start in the main event here in the 3rd race of the season.
Dungey was shot out of a cannon. Waiting for the 94. Where's Roczen? There he is. Roczen inside the top 10, Jeff, but he's deep in it. He's got Malcolm Stewart right behind him. Dealing with Weston Pike now in front of him. Not a good start at all for Ken Roczen.
Well, he's got Musquin right there also. Let's see how Roczen deals with this bad start, mid-pack start. We have him as 7th here on the first lap. Makes the move on Pike.
Yeah, picks up 1, settles in now looking after Marvin Musquin.
How about Seeley also? Oh, Roczen blows this rhythm section. Luckily, he doesn't lose the position.
Not a smooth start to this one for Ken Roczen, is it?
Well, this is where you have to be smart. You have to dig deep. You have to remain loose in this situation, not tighten up and not stress out about this. Meanwhile, Dungey's got a couple-second lead over Webb.
Comes into the night as a points leader. And as I mentioned to you earlier in the broadcast, the point standings continually update on our monitors here in our Fox Sports broadcast booth. And the way they're running right now, believe it or not, as tight as the championship has been, with Dungey finishing 2nd to Roczen in the first 2 rounds, Dungey would actually take over the points lead tonight.
See Musquin getting through Grant right there. Grant misses the rhythm section. That's going to allow Roczen to fly by 2. But what I want to talk about was the HRC Honda rider Cole Seeley. The best start so far that he's had this season.
Right to 2nd. Look at that, Jeff. Solid move.
And remember how quick he was at the end of the main event just 1 week ago. He's been 6th and 5th this season.
And to that point, this is the 2nd week in a row that Dungey has led the opening lap. if you remember at San Diego, he led the first 7 laps, then Roczen got by. So let's see what Seeley can do here. And Roczen now, he's caught up to Musquin. That becomes a battle over 4.
Last time around, Roczen, fastest lap, 56.5. A couple tenths of a second quicker than Dungey.
And they're closing in on Cooper Webb. Webb in his first 2 races in the 450 class, a 10th here at the season opener, 14th a week ago. Right now, Cooper running in 3rd.
Roczen's pouring it on right now, Ralph. Only 4.6 seconds separate Roczen and the leader.
Here he comes. He's really putting the pressure on that Red Bull KTM, and Musquin can feel it. Inside. Takes him high, and Roczen blows past and up another position.
Roczen just boxed him out perfectly, so there would be no retaliation. Roczen on fire. He is focused and just slicing his way through the pack.
Never seen him more confident than he has been this year. Inside of Cooper Webb. He's got the Yamaha rider as well, and Roczen continues his march up through the field.
I mean, just so confident, the 94 kid Roczen.
Here's Malcolm Stewart with Chad Reed and Eli Tomac on his tail. Malcolm running in 8th. Reed and Tomac rounding out the top 10.
Tomac shown as 10th on the first lap, so not sure exactly why he's where he's at right now, other than just been locked into a pretty tight battle. We have Reed as being 9th on the first lap, and Stewart is 8th, and that's right where they run now. After about 5 minutes of racing. Oh, Reed gets the hops on that braking bump in the sand section. Yamaha flies up in the air, but he manages to get it slowed down a turn.
Tomac hounding Reed, the 2-time champ just in front of him.
Boy, there's just so much expectations for the number 3 of Eli Tomac on the Monster Energy Kawasaki coming into the season. Won that opening round heat race. He struggled in the main events. Just has not been able to find his groove.
5th and a 6th for Eli Tomac. First 2 races, he's 5th in the points.
Boy, our look from Spider Cam right here, Ralph, you just get a sense of how much moisture is in the air.
Yeah, we were able to talk to Jenny just before we dropped the gate, and she said the rain just misty now, not really raining very hard. Shouldn't impact the running of this main event.
Well, if anything, it would be toughest for the riders if that mist gets under goggles. You'll go through those tear-offs a little quicker than normal.
Chad Reed lives for this moment right here. I talked to him earlier this season about what drives him, and he said, I love the fans, I love being in the spotlight and all that, that's great, but it's being out there once that gate drops and racing with the best riders in the world that I get to do every Saturday night, and seeing if I can live up to the level of competition, and he's running in the top 10 here tonight. Here's Seeley, just in front of Roczen as they fight over second place. Seeley, his last win, Houston, 2015. Jeff, that's 19 starts ago. He only had 1 podium, a second at San Diego, the second race in San Diego last year.
Well, Seeley having a great ride here tonight, and remember, he's on HRC Honda, him and Roczen, so they'll spend a lot of time riding together lately, okay? So now Seeley's been able to gauge where he's at with the guy that's won the first 2 rounds. But the problem is that now Roczen has lost about a half a second to Ryan Dungey, your leader right now. So Roczen, who is working his way through the pack pretty aggressively, now he's kind of stalled out a little bit here as he's caught up to Seeley, who's having a great night, running some great lap times. And last time around, Dungey was at a 56.5. He's getting close to the finish right now. We'll see where he's at.
And Dungey was 3.4 seconds out in front. See where he is now. Here comes Cole. Yeah, he picks up a couple tenths on him.
Seeley, 56.3, Roczen at 56.4, Dungey at 56.5, so they stay very, very close. But a great ride right now for the number 14. We're not even halfway through this main event yet. So now we start to work our way through some lap riders.
You can see Roczen running pretty close to what Dungey's time is. Seeley obviously doing the same.
Track really starting to deteriorate. Look at the ruts there at the bottom of that section. Have a different rhythm through there. Ends up pretty even. So now it's all about corners. It's about the whoop section, and it's about being aggressive and getting through the lap riders.
How about fitness too?
Oh, for sure.
We're going to see that come into play. We got about 11 and a half to go, plus that one lap.
Line choice right now, being smart as the track starts to go away. See, Dungey just goes under this tunnel jump.
You know, we talked, Jeff, about Chad Reed in San Diego and how solid he's been there. You know, Dungey's pretty darn good here in Anaheim. He's had 19 starts here, 4 wins, 12 podiums. In his last 5 races, he's been second, first, second, and he's leading here tonight.
Pretty good results.
Not bad.
Well, right there, see, Internationale holds up Seeley.
Oh! Down goes Roczen in a big one. Ken Roczen is down, and it looks like he's holding on to that left wrist. The Alpine Stars medical crew right there to attend to him. And the medical flag comes out right away. Everybody's going to have to roll through there.
They're going to throw that medical flag out at the beginning of the rhythm section so that those riders go single, single, single all the way through there. Wow, that was a massive crash by your points leader.
There's his mechanic, Oscar Bergman, hoping the best for his rider. As Dungey rolls through, he'll see that it's Roczen that's down. Well, we wait for more information on the points leader.
Well, and Seeley has closed up a little bit right here, only 3 seconds off of Dungey. Dungey struggling through that heat race and the semi. It's that all-important hole shot here in the main event, and he's just been able to lead a clean race. Wow.
Well, let's take a look at what happened to Ken Roczen. Watch the 94.
Remember I noted the ruts right here at the bottom. Gets a big kick right there and just slams right into that jump. Okay, we talked about it last week and also this week, how the bottoms, because of all the rain, the bottoms of the rhythm sections are really soft dirt. The jumps stay dry and stay hard, and we found one of those little square edges that start to develop. Watch what happens. See all those ruts? Right away, he knew he was going over. One more look.
And it just launches him. And down goes Ken.
How quickly it can happen here in this sport.
And we saw that with him in the Monster Energy Cup at the end of last year. And that second race so strong, and he went through the bars there. And here tonight. Meanwhile, Dungey out front, 6.5 seconds now on Marvin Musquin. We will certainly update you as soon as we hear anything about Ken. Whatever the latest is, you can see the Alpine Stars medical crew right there attending to him. They were on the scene within seconds.
Yeah, but and it is a very difficult part of the track. He's in the middle of the stadium here, and it's difficult for this medical team to get him off of the racing surface. Because they have to get their vehicle that they transport injured riders from there at the bottom of your screen. They have to get the vehicle past the racetrack.
Seeley, watching him, Roczen's teammate, still in third, fighting with Musquin here.
Musquin on the move, so now both Red Bull KTM riders first and second.
See the flag still out as a 10 to Ken, and you can see he is up, and they are helping to put him.
Looks like they have some.
Yeah, wrapped him up on that left arm, and they will take him, Jeff, to the Alpine Stars mobile medical rig, which is here at the track, and check him out first there. The crowd, of course, stunned over this huge crash that they watched the points leader suffer here tonight.
Well, and Ralph, we have all those great replays, but I tell you, a crash like that, unfortunately, I've been in those positions before. As we're sitting here watching them in our TV booth, I have a hard time doing the analysis on those.
Seeley doing his best to bring some positive to that Honda HRC squad. Well, he's looking at a podium finish here.
Yeah, that'll be his best of the year. Remember, he was the 6th at the opener, 5th a week ago.
He's trying to reel in Muscan, who's 2.5+ seconds in front of him.
Now, just behind Seeley in the running order, you're going to find that
Cooper Webb.
Blue Monster Energy Yamaha of Cooper Webb. Boy, what a recovery this is for him. Running in 4th right now. After just a difficult, challenging start to the season with a 10th and a 14th.
Right. Pike is going to be next up behind that.
Pike, 8th and a 7th coming into tonight.
Here's Pike. He's going around Schmidt, and he's got Grant coming up with him. Right here. Grant running in 6th.
It's going to be a season best for Grant, who was 9th and 11th so far.
And Chad Reed in 7th.
Track really starting to get chewed up. Some of these turns, some of these ruts right now. Look at this big braking bumps going right in there. And like I mentioned, the driver just setting up for that on-off. But right now, this is probably about 5 minutes total left in this when you take into account the extra lap. But this is going to be a difficult track here tonight. But I still have to give a shout out to this Dirtworks crew that build this track and prepare it on how good the surface has been.
There
Fortunately
goes
for Roxon,
Ken
this night's
Roxon
over.
off the track. That's Eddie Casillas sitting there with him. They obviously have his arm taped up. They will take him to that mobile medical unit and evaluate him further from there. And we will, as we said, update you on anything we learn while we are on the air with you here tonight. Tomac running in 8th. Again, not the night Eli was hoping for.
Certainly not, because this season has really the expectations are all about main event wins and being a championship contender. So Tomac at 5th and a 6th, and now setting 8th. Going to be scratching their heads when they go back to Kawasaki, wondering what they have to do to get a rider with such great potential to get him in the position he needs to notch the podiums and eventually a win.
Also talked about with Tomac too, Jeff, that even though he's a high title contender, there's a lot of pressure for him to perform that way.
Yeah, but those expectations come by great results. If you never had good results, nobody would expect anything. Oh, Millsaps gets a little crazy there on that same section where Roxon crashed. Good battle. Grant starting to loads up on Weston Pike right now. Grant knocking on the door for a top 5. Pike trying to hold on, but now Auto Trader Suzuki.
So, you know, for Millsaps, this will be his third top 10 here in a row. We watch Grant trying to catch up to Pike. Now, Pike didn't have a top 5 all last year. His best finish was a 7th at Detroit. Well, he's looking at top 5 finish.
He's got a couple of veterans here with Grant, who's won here before, and Reed, who has the most win, tied for most wins here in this stadium with 8, breathing down his neck. So for Weston Pike, the minute 44 plus a lap left, the toughest part. Wow, how he got lined up for that triple. When he hit that acceleration rut, that Suzuki got totally sideways. That's a grip it and rip it type scenario for the 32.
And Chad Reed in 7th, in line for his 201st career top 10. Of course, that breaks that all-time record that he currently shares with Mike LaRocco.
Outstanding, but for Reed, he expects much better out of himself right now.
Watching Dungey on the right side of your screen. A minute 10 plus 1 to go for the race leader.
Oh, Grant gets a little kick there. That's going to allow Reed to close right up. Reed triples.
Oh, here it comes. Takes a tear off, looks to the outside, cuts inside. Not yet. And this would be his best finish since the last race of the 2015 season in Las Vegas. What a career for Chad Reed. Just incredible when you start looking at the numbers of a Hall of Famer. Future
like,
Hall of Famer.
Don't start talking about the end yet. His goal is to have the most career starts. Mike LaRocco currently holds that. And for Chad Reed to break that record, he's going to have to go deep into next season, making every main event.
No reason at this stage, as healthy as he is and as quick as he's still riding, to believe that he's not going to accomplish that goal.
Reed, who at one point a lap or so ago looked like he was going to make the move on Grant, has dropped back a little bit.
Ryan Dungey has crossed the line and the clock has run out. He's on the final lap. Here he is. And a huge twist to the storyline of this season unfolding here tonight.
Yeah, and look where the gap is now. Musquin's only 4 seconds off. I know Dungey's up front. He's just trying to pace himself, not make any mistakes, but Musquin is closing it up, and that just shows me how strong he is physically. Of course, Musquin, Anderson, and Dungey all trained together down in Florida.
Dungey will not only take the win, but he'll take the points lead tonight. Career win number 32, his first of 2017, as Ryan Dungey lights the candles in Anaheim. Musquin will take second. Seeley will take third.
Look what that does to the points, Ralph. Dungey will be out front by 7 over Musquin, and Roczen drops back 18 points.
Red Bull KTM goes 1-2 here tonight. And on to HRC. Be hoping for good news for their rider Ken Roczen. A good night for their rider Cole Seeley. And when you talk about all-time Anaheim wins, Ryan Dungey, 5, and tucked in behind Stewart, Carmichael, McGrath, and Reed. Pretty good company. It's tied with Villopoto.
And also remember, for Stewart, Carmichael, McGrath, and even Reed back in the early days, we used to have 3 stops here. Now, of course, we only have 2. So it makes that number just a little bit more impressive.
You know, you can say what you want about, of course, Roczen having his crash, and we don't know yet more on that story, but look, Ryan Dungey came flying out of the gate, Jeff. We can't take anything away from this performance here tonight.
Yeah, this was an outstanding ride. by the 3-time champ. He was second in the 2 opening rounds, knew exactly what he needed to do after facing adversity in the heat race, and then through the semi, lines up 13th, hole shots, takes it wire to wire.
The man, Roger DeCoste, your team manager for the Red Bull KTM team, now on your screen on the right. Jenny makes her way in there to talk to him.
Hey, Ralph, thank you very much. Ryan, hey. Let you and Lindsay at least get a quick hug in there. Congratulations. Career win 32 for you, retaking the points lead tonight, and you've had success in Anaheim. What went into the performance tonight, leading from the first lap, a clean performance for you all around?
You know, gosh, well, the start was I didn't have the greatest pick going to the gate because of my qualifying deal, but I got out of the gate good. Couple of changes going into the main event, and I got up front, I could see the board, and I saw Ken was coming. You know, I hope he's okay. You know, he's right on my heels, his pressure's on. I'm like, it's either you're gonna fail or you're gonna go after it, you know, and so he just kept pushing, and the track was nasty. I mean, I'm surprised with all the rain it got the way it did, but, you know, towards the last, after the crash, I was like, man, the track's going quick. I'm losing my rear, there's a bunch of kickers, the track's gone, so I just focused on hitting my line, hit my marks, you know, let's run it in for a good win. And Marvin was coming on strong, but I want to thank my whole, you know, I want to thank the man, Lord Jesus Christ, for keeping us safe, but I want to thank my whole team Red Bull KTM, you know, my mechanic Carlos, the boys at WP, Jim, Mark, Roger, and Ian, and everybody who works there. You know, it's cool that we kept pushing each other, kept believing, and, you know, it's a good step, so it's a good place to build off of, and thankfully to get this win, you know, earlier in the season than later. And, you know, tonight it was testing me, man. I was like, what is going on? My throttle broke, and then the start wasn't great in the heat, but I'm glad we got a good start in the main. That's where it counts, so that's where they give out the points. So we'll keep building on that, and the whole team did a great job.
All right, so way to end the night. Ryan, thank you so much, guys.
What a wild, wild night, and we will hope the best for Ken Roxon and for Ryan Dungey. A win that he was hoping would come early in the year comes in Anaheim.